Hey guys, thanks for stopping by Tim and Amy's Homestead. The keto wife is here. We are going to make some beef bone broth today, and I'm going to make it keto. I'm not going to put all of those vegetables in it because I don't want all those carbs in my bone broth. I have already baked my bones at 425 degrees for 30 to 40 minutes. I wanted them good and brown. And I'm going to put onion and celery in my bone broth and some pink Himalayan salt. You can do bone broth for 12 to 24 hours. Most recommend 48. So I'm doing 48 hours. I want my bone broth to be top notch. I want to get everything that I can get out of those bones that I can. Okay, let's get busy making this bone broth. So, I got some bones and I went on ahead and baked them, as I said earlier. And there they are. This container is still a little warm. So I've cut up an onion and some celery, and if your celery still has the little leaves on it, you can throw them in too. You do not have to throw them out. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to start adding in my bones to my pot. I'm going to use my Pressure XL cooker to make my bone broth. It has a slow setting on it. I'm not pressure cooking my bone broth. I have done some checking around and they did a comparison for the two. Using your pressure cooker to do bone broth, you could see a difference. One was light and the slow cook was dark. You get more out of your bones if you just let it slow cook. Some things just need a little extra time. And make sure you there's juice in the bottom of this pan, so you want to dump it in there. I'm going to add some water in here. Okay, now I've already cut some onions and celery here, so I'm going to dump those in. And I'm going to put my pink Himalayan salt, and that's all I'm going to do. And you want to fill your pot up and cover this. And from time to time, you're going to want to check and make sure it's still covered. So you might have to add more water later on down the line here. I'm just going to put the full gallon in. Okay, now that this is done, I'm going to put it over here in my Pressure Cooker XL. Y'all, I almost forgot one important ingredient in the bone broth. I almost forgot it. Vinegar. For that pot right there, I'm going to put 3 tablespoons of vinegar in there. The vinegar, you're not going to taste it. What that vinegar is going to do is break down all the stuff in the bones. So you have to have vinegar in your bone broth. So I'm going to put it in there, put the lid on, and let it cook. I almost forgot it, y'all. Okay, now that I have the bone broth in the cooking mode, let's talk about a few of the benefits for drinking the bone broth. First benefit, the electrolytes that are in that bone broth. You know, doing keto, we lose a lot of electrolytes. You know, you need that potassium and magnesium in there. I have found out so many times that, you know, not drinking stuff that has electrolytes in it, you will cramp like, oh, no end. So drinking this bone broth is going to help store that back into your body. Another benefit to drinking the bone broth is for your gut health. It helps with the lining in your gut, and, you know, for food sensitivity as well. Okay, another benefit to drinking bone broth, another benefit to drinking the bone broth is, you know, for your joints. You know, a lot of folks deal with arthritis and their bones, their joints just hurt. Well, that gelatin that is in this bone broth will help coat your joints, and it'll just make you move a whole lot easier if you keep drinking bone broth, you know, on a more regular basis. The collagen in the bone broth really helps your digestive system. That collagen also helps with people who has Crohn's disease, helps with acid reflux. It also helps with, if I can say it right, ulcerative colitis. It's supposed to help with that as well. You're talking about a tongue-tied moment with that one. Using beef bones for your bone broth is supposed to be the richest bone broth that you can make. I mean, you can use so many different kinds of bones for your bone broth. I mean, you have the chicken, you have the pork, you have oxtail, you know, of course beef. But there's just so many different kinds, but they say that beef is your richest form of bone broth you can get. And, you know, they say you can cook it for 12 to 24 hours, but to get everything you can out of those bones, they recommend 48 hours. And one other benefit, and you know, there is so many benefits out there, but I've only just listed a couple. But one of the main benefits that tie in to why I drink it is weight loss. Yeah, weight loss. So, bone broth will stay in my house. Yeah. I mean, it's not like going to the store and buying the chicken broth and the beef broth and all that. It's not the same. This bone broth here has every little thing in it to help your body. Finally, the bone broth is done. So now I'm going to start taking all of this mess out and then take this juice and see if I can't use some cheesecloth and separate it. It takes days, a couple days to do this, but it's so worth it in the end. I mean, you know, if you have dogs, they'll be able to eat the bones, and you get the good stuff that come out of the bones. Alright, there is part of it. And here is the other bowl. So I'm going to let these sit here on the counter and cool. And when they're cool, I'll put them in the refrigerator. We are on the next phase of this bone broth. I just want to show you, see how the grease that has formed. And I started and I said, oh Lord, let me go get my video maker here so I can show you. See how it's gelled up so good? So now I'm going to go ahead and get all this fat off. All the fat, maybe a piece or two left in there of this bone broth. Look at that jelly. So guys, once again, thank you for stopping by the homestead. I'm sorry, this was a really lengthy video, but I hope and pray everyone stuck around to see the final product. Anyway, it takes so long to do bone broth. I mean, it's one process after the other. But I'd like to say thank y'all so much for stopping by. Please like, share, subscribe, say hello, leave a comment. I love hearing from y'all. Have a blessed day.